but you have to remain true to yourself at all times. What's the point of being in a room full of people? What's the point of being with 4 friends, allegedly, and when you're in their presence, you can just tell that they're not on your level. You stick out like a sore thumb. The things that they're talking about, you can't relate to it. If anything, it makes you cringe. So why put yourself in that space? You're not cursed. Let's start there. You're not cursed. Yes, you are a good person, but you're a very peculiar person. I heard a statement some years ago that said, fake people have a lot of friends. And a lot of friends is more than 3, in my opinion. If you're talking genuine, solid, 2 really. If you have 2 genuine, solid, continuously proving their loyalty to you, oh my goodness, what a bonus. You blessed. But the statement or the quote said, fake people have a lot of friends, a lot of associates, but the real ones, they walk alone. Not necessarily by choice all the time. They could want to be in the company of people, of course. It's in our makeup. Psychology, we need other human beings. Especially when we first come into this world, we need that to thrive. It's a part of our development to have someone touching on us, nurturing, feeding us. It's a development phase of a newborn. You put a baby in that bed, in that hospital, and you're not touching on them, nourishing them, feeding them, talking with them, there could potentially be delays. Fact check me. But anyway, people who don't have a lot of substance are fake. Let me go a little bit deeper. I don't care how spiritual or how good someone claims to be, how good you feel in their presence, how good they smell, how pretty they are. I'm talking about females right now, how beautiful they are. Oh my goodness, when they come into the room, oh, you can just feel their charm. You can just feel their essence. But if that person has some sneaky ways, cunning, they tend to talk about the very people who they claim to be in relationship with. They're talking about their other friends, talking about their other best friends. Do you not think that they're doing the same thing to you? This is a fake person. Because if you will talk behind someone's back and mention information that you will not mention in the presence of the person that you're talking about, that's fake. That is unauthentic. Because if you are real and genuine and you are a real friend, you should be able to tell your friend in love or in firmness exactly where you stand. If it's something that you don't like, something where you see that they're kind of like going down the wrong path, you're going to speak up. If you're a friend. But fake folks, they have a lot of people around them. But the more genuine, unique, and peculiar you are, oh, people will begin to fall off. They'll begin to fall off, just like the weight will fall off your body when you go vegan. I mean, naturally vegan. When you eat fruit and vegetables, especially when you're juicing it or throwing your fruit and vegetables in the blender, especially the green stuff, those cucumbers and celery, you mixing that with your dark colored berries, that turmeric powder, a little shot of apple cider vinegar, fresh lemon squeeze, fresh lime. I'm telling you, that the weight will fall off you. You won't have to go to the gym. When you put in the natural elements and nutrients in your body. That was a side note. But this is how fake people or people who don't belong will just fall away from you. So you're not cursed. You're peculiar. Don't even think about trying to change to have people feel more comfortable around you. Don't you dare diminish your character. Don't you think about trying to fit in. If you have to walk alone, so be it. It's power in that. Or you might feel alone sometimes. I'm a witness to that. You might feel alone sometimes. but you have to remain true to yourself at all times. What's the point of being in a room full of people? What's the point of being with 4 friends, allegedly, and when you're in their presence, you can just tell that they're not on your level. You stick out like a sore thumb. The things that they're talking about, you can't relate to it. If anything, it makes you cringe. So why put yourself in that space? You're not cursed. You are peculiar. And you have been set apart for a reason. Let me tell you something about me. I have always been very popular. I communicate with, get along with, and have always had friends from all different walks of life. From my years as a child all the way up to high school and community college. All kinds of people. I love people. I'm still that way till right now, today. Very popular in school. Vibrant personality, just like now, social. I walk into a room, there are no strangers. I'll talk to anyone, it does not matter. That's me. But that's part of my natural makeup. God gave me that. Some people have been disturbed by that. Some people have, it makes them cringe when I'm in their presence. Well, how do I know this? They told me. A few of them. I had one young lady to tell me that when I was working at a call center about 20-something years ago. Just came up to me one day and she said, ain't no way in the world that anybody is that happy. But she was cussing when she said it. Ain't no way in the world that anybody that GD happy. And I was like, what are you talking about? She said, I'm talking about you. You always come to work smiling. I know ain't no way in the world, but she was cussing. You can't be that happy. I know you got some problems. And I just looked at her. I have some problems, but that don't have anything to do with my performance at work. It doesn't have anything to do with how I step out when I walk outside. My problems are my problems and I deal with them accordingly. However, whenever I'm dealing with someone else, they don't have anything to do with my problems. So why wear that on my sleeve? The problems are going to work themselves out, or I'm going to find out a solution, or somebody's going to aid me with the solution, and that problem will be taken care of. Why walk around like a mad dog? Nevertheless, some people can't stand that. Do you think that caused me to change? No, I kept smiling, and I smile just like that today. It has rubbed a lot of people the wrong way, but because other people want to indulge in the fire and wallow in their problems, it doesn't mean that you have to. You don't have to diminish yourself because everybody else is. Everybody else is talking about how bad their marriage is, how bad the dating pool is, but you on the other side, you're doing good in your marriage. You're experiencing the dating pool, and every person you've dated the last couple of years have been nice. Maybe you're not, maybe you don't want to settle down because you've been married before and you're just enjoying just the dating scene, going out every now and then to get some dinner, walking down the beach, holding hands, going to check out a movie, going Segway touring, walking the streets, doing city tours. Maybe you just like someone's company. You're not interested in getting married, but everybody else is complaining about how bad it is and how they're being dogged out, and that is not your story. So why would you start making up a story to try to fit in with their misery? Don't do that. You are peculiar. Your blessing is yours. It's your portion. It's your portion. What somebody else is going through, that don't have anything to do with you. Y'all have to learn how to seize the moment. Because you know life can be like this, up and down, just like a roller coaster. Today, you can be doing good, happy, hanging out with your friends, hanging out with your family, and tonight, you get a phone call that they got killed in a car accident. Life is fragile. Life is precious. Why waste your time running behind people, looking for people to value you, wanting someone to know your worth? You know your worth. As long as you know your worth, that's good enough. Treasure yourself and treat yourself as such, and the right individual or the right people will come around who know how to appreciate you for the gem you are. When you're in the wrong place, baby, you cheapen yourself. If you sit up in the Dollar Tree, of course you're $1.50, $1.25, because y'all know Dollar Tree went up. The stuff in there is not $1 anymore. Okay? If you sit up in daily deals in the thrift store, of course you $2, $3. But if you go to Macy's, if you go to some of these designer stores, the price is higher. You have to stop hanging out with cheap people. Well, what do you mean by that, Internet? I'm talking about cheap in the mindset. People who always think from a poverty standpoint. I can't do this. I can't do that. The white people are holding me back. This person is holding me back. Oh, I'm not college material. Just all of the comments that are like that of defeat. Why? This is why you feel cursed. When you hang around with people who are always complaining, you're going to feel like you're the scum of the earth just like them. You got to break those ties and learn how to sit with yourself. I know it can be difficult. And a lot of people found out what sitting with themselves was like when 2020 hit during that pandemic. They found out the issues that they have, the abandonment and the rejection, and the reason why they act the way they act, talk the way they talk, why they keep going back to the same type of toxic people. Because they're not accustomed to sitting with themselves and being alone. Before they are alone, they'd rather go out and deal with whoever and whatever. And that's the recipe for disaster. That's how you curse yourself. So nothing is wrong with you. You're covered. The presence of the Lord is all around you. I don't know if you have an angel that's with you or angels that are with you. Everyone is different. But I will tell you this. Sometimes you might feel like you are all alone. And in the physical, you may be. But spiritually, you have support. This is why people fall away from you. They can't stand to be around that anointing. They can't stand to be around that truth. Because when they're in your presence, they have to come correct. When they're in your presence, they feel like you can see right through them. And you can. Everybody can't take that. And you have to learn how to accept who you are. The anointing and the power that you walk in. The presence of the Lord that is all around you, that people can sense, they can see it, they can feel it. So you're not cursed. You're peculiar. And it's time for you to accept that. Get into the word so you can find out what a peculiar person is, what it looks like. Look up the definition. And that'll help you fashion yourself and more so settle into who you are. Because sometimes when you don't know who you are, you don't know what it looks like, even though you are that. For instance, if you came up a certain way, didn't have a lot of money, resources, but over the course of time, you had aspirations and now you're living in the blessings that you once prayed for, you may not really know how to accept it and how to handle it. And so you start looking at others who share the same lifestyle as you, who have the same gifts, talents, or who have the same placement or vocation, if you will. Because you don't really know how to carry yourself in that space. Y'all excuse the noise. I have my food on the timer. Excuse me. You don't have to fit in. You just need to stand out. You don't have to fit in as a peculiar person because you stand out. And because you stand out, people are going to fall away. But that's okay. When you look out there in the ocean and you see the lighthouse, you don't see a bunch of buildings and other things around it. You just see the lighthouse. And the lighthouse has a purpose. Nothing can be compared to it. And that's what you are. That's what we are. So learn how to stand up in that authority and the assurance of who you are. You're not cursed. You're not forgotten. You're peculiar. And there are certain levels of blessings that are associated with being peculiar. I hope this message has ignited you in some way, shape, or form.